What's up top 10 fam, hope you're having an awesome day. I'm your host Ayman Hassan and welcome back to another video. Now here I am thinking there are only 12 zodiac signs and I'm sure you guys are too, but apparently we're wrong. Astrologers in ancient Roman Greece saw the other constellations in the skies were star signs as well, not just the 12 we know now. They had around 22 that we don't know about, so with that being said, these are the top 10 scary zodiac signs that got lost in time. Starting us off with number 10 is Ophiuchus. So according to NASA and the ancients, this is the official 13th zodiac sign, and if you were born between November 29th and December 17th, this is you. Now NASA looked at Babylonian texts, did the maths, and introduced a sign in 2011, and for clarification, people born in that period beforehand were either Scorpios or Sagittarians. Now more about the sign. Ophiuchus is the serpent bearer, and since it's in between Scorpio and Sagittarius, it possesses traits from both signs. They're magnetic to look at and talk to, they're passionate and extremely jealous people. This sign is meant to be wise, humorous, and a natural born leader. So I feel like honestly they don't have many cons, they're all pros. Of course I'd never want to be an Ophiuchus over a Leo, but hey, that's just the Leo in me talking. Coming in at number 9 is the Eagle, and if you're born between January 14th and 28th, then this is you. This zodiac represents a soaring spirit and intellect that other zodiacs just can't match. Back in the day when a Caesar died, they would release a captive eagle into the sky, and that symbolized the emperor's soul, which was now finally free to join the gods above. In terms of personality traits, no one can compete with this sign on a mental level. They think fast, they make decisions fast, and not even impulsively, everything is very calculated. They're intensely passionate, but that's also their downfall. They can get caught up in their feelings and lose themselves. The eagle's precious stone is a quartz, because I know a lot of people ask this, so I was like, let me just save the trouble, put it in there. Ayman coming in clutch. You're welcome. At number 8 we have the swan, and that is you if you were born between Feb 9th and February 29th. This sign was sacred to the god Apollo, and in old folklore these people were meant to be shapeshifters, humans that turned into swans. Now personality trait wise, these people are passive and think a lot, but are also chameleons. They can play any role they want to in life, and they're also very vengeful towards anyone that thinks they can pin them down. The swan sign represents the person's transformation and personal growth as a human being as they go through life and find themselves and come into their own. It's a very supportive sign to all other than their haters, obviously, and this sign's precious stone is the moss agate. Filling on number 7 slot is the charioteer. This sign falls between June 8th and June 16th, so if you're an early summer baby, you could very well be the charioteer. Now ancient story wise, the charioteer was the adopted human son of the goddess of wisdom Athena, or Athene, whichever you prefer saying. He invented the horse-drawn chariot and reigned in Athens, even introducing the use of silver. Mans is smart out here. Personality wise, this sign is a natural born leader. Even when things are going fully tits up, they can bring peace and order out of any chaotic situation. These people are really good mediators and they're understanding friends as well. They enhance and improve any situation they go into, but this elevated sense of self can give them huge egos. But hey, it can't all be good, right? Gotta have some cons. And the precious stone of the charioteer is the sapphire. I never got the point of precious stones. Like, say I'm a charioteer and I have a sapphire, like what does that mean? Does that mean if I carry a sapphire around I'll be more in tune with myself? Like what does it mean? Does anybody know? Tell me in the comments below. Now at number 6 is Andromeda, or Andromeda, however you want to say it. That's you if your birthday is between April 2nd and 9th, but also April 19th to May 8th. I don't know why there are 2 time periods associated with this one, but we're just gonna go with it. Now for story time. Andromeda was a princess who was chained as a sacrifice for her country and to appease all of her mother's sins. She was about to get eaten by a sea monster before being saved by Perseus. The sign is the ruler of men. It represents the ancient love goddess, so they are extremely in tune with their emotions and governed by them. They're sensitive and family is everything to them, but at the same time, no one tells them what to do. If they need to cut you off to liberate themselves and do what they want, they will. No cap. Straight savage, just cutting all y'all off. Ain't nobody got time for that. The precious stone of Andromeda is the pearl. Coming in at number 5 is Perseus, the hero we mentioned in the previous point. Now if you were born between May 16th and May 31st, you are Perseus. The story goes like this. This glittering airborne hero just came out of nowhere and cut off the Gorgon sea monster's head right before it was about to devour Andromeda. He was conceived by a shower of gold, so I mean this dude is basically Superman. Does he look like Henry Cavill? I don't really know. Probably not. Personality-wise, they're extremely witty and curious, meaning they have to know the who, what, when, where, and why behind everything. But when someone is made to be good, that means they have a very strong dark side that's also hard to ignore. It's like the light and dark side of the Force. Once you get your instinctive and impulsive side under control, you're a very good person, but sometimes your mind can get the better of you. And no surprise, the precious stone for this one is a diamond. Are we surprised? No, we're not, because you're just so cool, aren't you? You're so good and heroic. No, I'm kidding. I'm just being salty. At number 4 is Orion, and I mean we've all heard of the Orion belt, so this one is more well known than the others. If your birthday is in between June 1st and 7th or June 17th and 27th, then this applies to you. Now Orion is the golden huntsman who possesses that glittering belt of stars. Artemis, the goddess of the crescent moon and the dawn, loved him to bits. The huntsman was so tall that he could walk across the deepest parts of the ocean and still have his head above water. Do you know how deep the deepest part of the ocean is, you guys? 36,200 feet. And this man was taller than that. Like, that should go on his Tinder profile, honestly. He would get all the matches. Everyone's like, oh, I'm 5'11". I'm like, mate, I don't even know what that is in feet and inches, but I don't even want to know. Personality-wise, everything is as grand as can be with Orion. You need space and freedom, and no one can hold you down, and you wouldn't let them either. They usually love nature and need to be interacting with it in order to feel happy and fulfilled. Orions hate liars. They don't see the point in not telling the truth, and I agree, like literally, what is the point? The truth always comes out no matter what. They can feel extremely let down by people who beat around the bush and are not straightforward, but they're never down for too long. Faithful and resilient, this sign bounces back stronger than any of the other signs, and this quality of introspection makes them very deep thinkers. Orion has 2 precious stones, the opal and the emerald. Filling our number 3 slot is the ship of the Argonauts, and no, that's not one of the Star Trek movies, although it does sound like it. If your birthday falls between July 8th and 17th or September 22nd and 28th, then you are the sign. Now for the backstory of this one, because with a name like that you definitely need to know what the hell's going on. So this ship carried Jason and the Argonauts whilst they were finding the Golden Fleece. Athena helped them build the ship, so it had a piece of truth-speaking oak inside that always took them the right way. That's so clutch, she essentially just made their journey foolproof. Personality-wise, this sign is probably the most gifted and adventurous of all the ancient signs. Life has always been easy for this sign, which is probably not true, but hey, the ancients said what they said. But their gifted nature is also their fatal flaw. I mean, what do you do when you're good at everything and have too many talents? You can either burn out, have a power trip, or just be overwhelmed with all the options and just do nothing at all. It's really easy for these signs to get caught up thinking about their future dreams, but that also sets them up for failure because they're so easily distracted. They want to do everything so they can abandon path after path, not knowing it's detrimental. This sign's precious stone is the sapphire. Now at number 2 is the sea serpent, and that is you if you're born between August 16th and August 23rd. You can probably tell from the name of it, but this is the longest constellation in the sky. It represents the symbol of Namu, who is a Sumerian great mother goddess who personified the ocean and all the life that came from it. Personality-wise, this sign is hard to control. I mean, so is the ocean. They're sensuous and alluring, but also problematic, aren't we all? They have their own code of morals and rules that they live by that may not always be the mainstream ones that are accepted by society. Despite always doing their own thing, they're not judgmental and are very tolerant of everyone around them and their views. But if you meet someone that isn't tolerant of yours, that's an issue. These people live with the saying life is too short in mind always. The precious stone of the sea serpent is the lapis lazuli. And finally, at number 1 is the wise centaur, and if your birthday is between November 20th and December 5th, then this is you. Happy belated birthday, by the way. Now this one obviously comes from the Centaurus constellation, and this is its backstory. Chiron was a wise centaur who taught all the Greek heroes their skills, how to sing, how to shoot, how to tell the truth, and so forth. Apparently he was wounded by an arrow yet managed to heal himself with the herb centauri, which is actually named after him. After he healed himself, he became immortal, so I mean the sign is apparently all good things. These signs are natural born leaders and healers. You can listen to your friends' problems for days on end and will always listen with an open heart. You don't like putting your problems on others and will suffer in silence if you have to, and you do. But because of that, you have the biggest heart of all the signs and harbor great empathy. This sign's precious stone is the alexandrite. And that's it for today's video, guys. I'm actually quite happy I got to research this one because now I'm so woke about zodiacs, no one can tell me anything. My knowledge is unparalleled compared to the average person now, and I'm very happy about that. I'm just bigging myself up at this point. Let me know if you are any of the zodiacs on the list that I mentioned and what your thoughts are on them. As always, I'm your host, Eamon Hassan, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye! Starting us off with number 10 is Ophiuchus. Ophiuchus? Now more about the sign. Ophiuchus. What sign are you?
Pisces.
Pisces?
Yeah.
When is that? Feb?
February, yeah. I'm February 29th, leap year.
Ooh! So you're like in real life, are you actually like 12? Like years old? Like 4?
I'm turning 6.
Oh. Now for story time. Andromeda was a princess who was changed. Fuck me. I meant to be doing this one so quickly. And I'm like, haha, stress. It's like the light and dark side of the Force. The Force. I'm so excited for Star Wars. Oh my god. And I mean, we've all heard of the Orion belt, so this one is more well.
I think it might be Orion.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, Orion's belt. Thank
you. Producer Mackenzie. Orion, right? Okay. At number 4 is Orion. Orion? Yeah. Orion? Now, personality-wise, everything is as grand as can be with Orion. Sorry. Oh. Okay, let's get it done.